I was just thinking about some of the things I've done over lockdown that in normal life I probably wouldn't do, partly because I wouldn't have the time or the inclination to even think about doing them. So, for example, one of the first things I did when we went on lockdown, I bought a waxing machine. I've never actually waxed anything of myself before or anybody else. And anyway, I thought it'd be a bit of fun. And it was for me because I asked Tom if I could practice on him, which was an experience for Tom. And it only came out once and then it went in a cupboard. That's all I will say. You'll have to ask Tom how that went. He's recovered. He's forgiven me. And then I found one evening we were throwing pound coins into toilet rolls. That was a lot of fun. I attempted a handstand while trying to put a t-shirt on. That was messy and not that glamorous. And one of the things we've done over the time is with the government briefings every day, which I have loved, I have to say, a bit more bored now. And we found ourselves recently counting how many ers they've said. And there's one particular government official, and he says them quite a lot. And we counted, I think it was 110. So that's amused us. And then most recently, I decided to take on a puzzle. I've not done a puzzle since I was, I don't know, a very young child. So I decided to take on this puzzle, and it was quite a big deal because I'd not done one for so long. And I remembered though that you've got to get the corner pieces, but this puzzle was quite complicated. So the corner pieces weren't corner pieces, they were curved pieces. And I sat and I looked and I got things upside down and the wrong way around, and it was really, really frustrating. But eventually, after about half an hour and my granddaughter coming in, helping me, we managed to achieve this puzzle. Now, I'd love to say that this puzzle was 200 pieces or 1,000 pieces, but this puzzle was actually a farm puzzle, and it was age 3+. I don't know which way around it should go. But anyway, as you can see, my skills aren't quite in that department. But it was fun and hilarious, and Tom found it very amusing. But then more recently, and we did a game. Tom and I sat in the garden on one of these beautiful sunny days, and we decided to pick out any object. So I said to Tom, we could pick out any object that we see, and could we turn it into a talk, like from the Bible? So we then started to do this, and Tom was like, no, I don't think so. And I said, well, let's have a go. So suddenly we started playing this game, looking around the garden, and, so Tom would say tree, and I go, tree? Jesus is the tree of life. He talks about roots in the Bible, and our roots going deeper, and oaks of righteousness, and off we got carried away. And then bird, we were like, yes, he knows birds, feeding the birds. He cares so much about the feeds to clothing the birds. So how much more does he care about us? And then we went wine. Well, there's plenty of stories about wine in the Bible, turning water into wine, overflowing with whatever, all sorts of things. And then we went on to food. Oh, there's plenty about food. Jesus spent most of his time eating and drinking with people, and on it went. And we were just like, the door, Jesus is the door to life. And we just got totally carried away. But then it led me thinking, there is really something in everyday ordinary life that Jesus says something about. And even Tom said, what about TV? Well, yes, what are we focused on? What are our eyes seeing? Are we focusing on good things? And we just came up with something for everything. And then that got me thinking how much in life Jesus is so relevant to things we do in every day. You see, I honestly believe that the virtues, the values and the teaching of Jesus are relevant as much today and will be in the future as they have been in the past. His life, his teachings about love and compassion, truth, forgiveness, they do really transcend time and just cross every boundary, whether it's geographical, cultural. The truth is, there's so much out there, isn't there, that can draw our attention away from just pure goodness, pure truth. And when I think of life, our lives, probably from the moment that we're born, are full of change and growth and transitions and choices and decisions and mistakes, fresh starts. And we're always looking how to do life. And I've been reading this book recently, and it's just called The Great Spiritual Migration. And it's been fascinating. And one of the bits he described actually what people are probably really wanting, as they come into contact with those of us who say we're followers of Jesus, and of course we represent the church as well. And he said this: I wasn't looking for clever sermons or a certain style of music. I didn't need a church that was cool or contemporary or big or small. I certainly didn't need a church whose primary goal was to police the belief systems of its members. Instead, I wanted and needed a church that would help me live a life of love, with as little distraction as possible. I needed sustenance, encouragement, and help in loving God, loving myself, loving my wife, loving my children, my grandchildren, my friends and my family, loving my neighbours, and especially people I struggle to love, and loving the earth. I felt that without a community and regular gatherings with other people to do that, I could easily drift. Too easily drift and shift into autopilot and easily stagnate and sour. And I think sometimes, as those of us who say we follow Jesus, we can overcomplicate it for people and for ourselves, when actually we have access to the Bible. The Bible, this book is full of advice and wisdom and counsel about everyday ordinary things. And I was chatting to a friend recently, and this friend had got themselves into a bit of a pickle, and we were chatting, and this friend said, oh, I've sought this like theory out, or this teacher out, or this podcast out, you know, nothing to do with God or church. And the stuff's actually really good stuff. But it struck me that actually we can go to this and find the answers. And I feel really excited. Today we're kind of launching a new series, and it's just, what would Jesus say about ... And I am excited to think that over the next couple of months, we're going to look at subjects that all of us may think about or have to make choices around or have opinions on. And what does Jesus say about it? And we don't have to be fearful, whatever subject that might be, whether it's next week, it's like, what does Jesus say about justice, which is so relevant to today. We've got one about, what does Jesus say about death? Because quite honestly, we either ignore the fact that we might die, or we think about it a lot, and especially in current times. What does Jesus say about money? What does Jesus say about addiction? What does Jesus say about relationships? What does Jesus say about partying and having fun and family and friends and relationships? I mean, we could go on and on and on. And if you're watching this and you've never been maybe involved in church, or you don't know people who follow Jesus, whatever, and you think, well, I want to know, what would Jesus say about... Don't be frightened. Let us know. We'd love to hear. There's a book in the Bible, and it's called Isaiah. And Isaiah was a prophet foretelling what was to come. And these prophets were very influential back in the day, and actually held to the truth that they prophesied, as we find out again as we get into the newer bit of the Bible. And this is Isaiah talking about Jesus coming, and through him, God spoke about Jesus, the very person that many of us follow and love, and walk with him and follow his teaching, his guidance. And it says this, Isaiah 42, take a good look at my servant. I love him dearly. This is God talking about Jesus. For he is my chosen one. I've taken hold of him in my strength, and I've clothed him with my spirit. He will cause justice to spring up for the nations. He will be gentle and will not quarrel with others in public. He will not exalt his own voice. He will never crush a broken heart, nor disregard the weak and vulnerable. He will make sure justice comes to those who are wronged. His inner being will not become faint or discouraged, nor will his light grow dim before he establishes justice on the earth. Even the distant lands beyond the seas will hunger for his instruction. Here are the words of the true God, the one who created the starry heavens and stretched them out. He is the one who formed the earth and filled it with life. He gives breath to every person, and the Spirit to everyone, everywhere. I, God, have commissioned you, that's each one of us, in righteousness to succeed. I will take your hand in love and watch over you. I will give you as a covenant for the people, a walking light to the nations. Your mission, my mission, our mission, is to open blind eyes, to set prisoners free from dark dwellings, to an open prison door to those who are held by darkness. I am God, that is my name. I will not give my glory to another God, nor my renown to idols. Don't you see that what I've prophesied has come to pass? And now I'm foretelling the future. I declare it to you before it sprouts up. And I find this so encouraging, because the way Jesus wants to teach us and guide us and lead us, it's always in love, it's always in gentleness, it's always looking out for the underdog, for those of us that might feel crushed or brokenhearted, may feel vulnerable and weak. We are just the people that Jesus loves to guide and teach and show us how to do this life in the everyday ordinary. I want us to think about, as we move forward in the next weeks and months, what does it look like for each of us, no matter where we're at on our journey with Jesus? What does it look like for us individually to look again at Jesus and what he teaches us? I'm great we're doing this series, but also us in our daily walk. Let's look around us and see what's in front of us, whether it's flowers or birds or doorways or feathers on the floor, whatever it might be. And let us look and think, what can we glean from that? What's God teaching us? What's he saying? Because I truly believe as we walk and follow him, the difference it makes, I know the difference it makes in my life and for many of us. And the great thing is, it's not about being perfect. It's not about getting everything right. Far from it. It's about a relationship where we can walk in rhythm with him. And certainly for those of us that are part of the community of Derwent Valley, and I would encourage anyone who's watching this who maybe isn't part of community, we would absolutely love you to come and journey with us. And again, I read a great paragraph which I would want to own for us as a community, Derwent Valley. And do check us out if you're visiting or just watching this. This is words of somebody else, but this is how I really feel as a people I want us to be. That at Derwent Valley, we're not the ones who finally got the Bible right. We haven't got all the answers. Neither do we possess the secret to life, exclusive access to God, or 7 steps to satisfaction. We are, however, powerfully drawn to the person of Jesus, his teaching, and even more so, his life. So we are experimenting and failing and building a community that collectively follows his way, hoping, trusting, and even doubting that it might seed something beautiful in the world, namely full and abundant life for all creation. We think the truth about life may just be love, and love may just be the way. And we believe that God is love, and that he demonstrated that by sending his one and only Son, Jesus, who came as an ordinary man with all the emotions and humanness that we have. He didn't come powerful and glorious in the ways that we might expect somebody of such status to come. He came humbly, he came as a servant, he came focused on what he was about. He loved the outcast, the vulnerable, he mixed with people in society that nobody else would mix with, and on. I've said this before. So I would encourage us, let's get back to, what does Jesus say about? What is it that the questions that all of us might have in our lives right now that we're saying, what would Jesus say about that? How do I make that decision? How do I step out? How do I move forward? What does Jesus say? And I can assure you, as we dig around, the answers are there, and it's a life-changing, exciting journey. So as I draw that to a close, I just want to play a video by a young woman. I think she's quite famous, not that I would know, but I think she is. But there's this video about the transition she made to everything in life, and then deciding to follow Jesus and the difference that he's made as she's followed his ways, his teachings. So that's it from me. Really missing you all, and just loving that we're connecting in the way that we are, and just more and more just what a precious community we are together. So it's good. God bless you.
Peace, bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break at your name still. Call the sea to still, the rage in me to still every wave at your name. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you made the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you made the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 your name is a light the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where my feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand, and I soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. You are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you will call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you will call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Oh Jesus, you're my God, and I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. You are mine.
Hello, welcome to Derwent Valley Vineyard's online service. We hope you're enjoying it. You're very welcome, whether you're a regular or if you're visiting. After the service at 11 o'clock, I hope you can join us for our Zoom gathering. Many of us have just a general chat for a half an hour or an hour. Details of all that's going on in the church can be found on the contact just there. So I hope you'll get in touch.
We also have life groups. These are smaller groups that meet on Wednesday and Thursday evenings, where you can feel that you belong and get to know people. So you're very welcome to join us on Zoom.
Tuesday mornings we have the men's prayer meeting. That's at 7 o'clock. Love you to join us. Even if you're nervous about praying and don't like praying out loud, do join us, and you can join us just praying along in your heart.
On Thursday mornings at 8 o'clock, there's Bible study, and this is for both sexes, and they're currently going through Genesis, so that's very interesting. So you're welcome to join in.
And finally, if you'd like to be in touch with us for any reason, just to chat, learn more about the church, or if you're going through difficult times, do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the service.
Bye.
Bye.
So as we come to a close of our service today at Derwent Valley, we have a great opportunity to respond to what we've heard, what we've thought, what we think about things. And so I just think it'd be really good. Is there one thing that you need to know what Jesus would say about? It might be that you want to suggest that we talk about that one week. That's brilliant. But maybe there's something in your own life that this week you could say, God, would you speak to me about that? And encourage you maybe to pick up a Bible. Maybe you've never picked up one before, and just begin to flick through, particularly the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. And they are great books that describe the life of Jesus and what he said, and just encourage us to do that. So I'm just going to pray, and then let's take this week to ponder on some of these things. So Holy Spirit, Jesus, we thank you that everything in our lives today, you understand, you get us, you get our struggles, our disappointments, our uncertainties and our questions. And I am so thankful, Jesus, that you have the answers. And I ask, Jesus, as we embark on this new week, that you will help us find the answers that you want to bring to us. That we will have the courage to admit that we don't have all those answers, and invite you into every part of our lives to speak to us in the everyday ordinary, that we can and will follow you. We thank you that you are so relevant today, and the things that you say in the Bible too are so relevant. So we just pray, Lord, that this week will be a different week, because you will be at the heart of everything we do and every decision we make. Amen. Have a great week, and we'd love to hear from you if anything you feel that's been different because of what you've heard today. So do get in touch with us, and we look forward to catching up very soon. Goodbye.
Slow down, take time, breathe in, he said. He'd reveal what's to come. The thoughts in his mind, always higher than mine, and he'll reveal all to come. Take courage, my heart, stay steadfast, my soul. He's in the waiting, he's in the waiting. Hold on to your hope as your triumph unfolds. He's never failing, he's never failing. Sing praise, my soul, find strength in joy. Let his words lead you on. Do not forget his great faithfulness. He'll finish all he's begun. Take courage, my heart, stay steadfast, my soul. He's in the waiting, he's in the waiting. Hold on to your hope as your triumph unfolds. He's never failing, he's never failing. Sing praise, my soul, find strength in joy. Let his word lead you on. Do not forget his great faithfulness. He'll finish all he's steadfast, my soul. He's in the waiting. He's in the waiting. Hold on to your hope as your triumph unfolds. He's never failing. He's never failing.
Good morning. Oh,
Oh dear.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
I bet it's going to be a good one.
I hope it's going to be a good one.